Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be another getting ready with me video. So I got a new light. It is like one of those happy lights that's supposed to help with seasonal depression and things like that, like just by giving you like vitamin D or whatever. It's like a therapy light, I guess, but it does sort of help with the shadows and stuff in this video. I feel like you get a more well-balanced lighting situation going on with my face. I don't know if you can notice or not, but yeah, it should help with the videos from here on out. Anyway, let's just get into it. So I'm working on trying to finish this palette this year. It's kind of like an unofficial pan that palette kind of situation, just because it's so old. It is so old. I've had it for a decade or more. And as you can see, I've already used quite a bit of it. There's one full pan empty right here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other pans showing. So I'm going to continue trying to work on this guy with today's look, as well as reaching into some other palettes I have in front of me here that are new. And I know you guys are going to be like, what do you mean new? Like you're on a no-buy. Yeah. My no-buy has not been going as well as I was hoping. You know, I'm only human, and especially lately because I've been off work, I have so much free time that I just end up spending my time shopping, and I always tell myself I'm just going to browse, and then I end up buying stuff. And yeah, so basically I'm not trying to make excuses, I'm just trying to explain why things are happening. I know that this month, because it is March 2nd today. I'm pre-filming this video might not be up till next week, but March is actually like, I'm going back to work this month, finally. I have weddings this month, finally, so I'm going to be busy, especially towards the end of the month. So I'm not going to have as much free time to sit around and shop, so that's a good thing for my wallet and for my no-buy. So I'm not completely throwing in the towel. I'm not like giving up on the no-buy by any means. It just means it's had a bit of a rough, wow, I really can't talk today, sorry. It's had a bit of a rough start with a bunch of purchases that should not have been made, but you know what? I feel okay about it because, and I always say that, and I'm probably just trying to justify it to myself, but the no-buy essentially was for monetary reasons primarily. Like, it was to save money more so than anything else. And I think in that regard, I have been doing better, because the first month that I was, you know, recklessly shopping, like January basically, and like halfway through February, I was like just recklessly shopping, like I say, without any regard for how expensive things were. I was just buying whatever I wanted. And this month, even though I did sort of break my no-buy by buying things, I was a lot more mindful about how much things were costing, and the things I did buy, as you will notice, I'm not going to show everything I bought in this video, but I will do another video in a couple of weeks just showing what's come into my collection, and you'll notice it there. But I will say that the majority, if not everything that I've bought during my no-buy period of time has been drugstore. Like, I haven't bought anything high-end, so everything I have bought has been at a much lower price point, so it's not really helping my inventory situation at all, but it is getting better in terms of my spending. It's not as drastic of an improvement as I would have liked. Obviously, if I was aiming for a no-buy and then I bought stuff, I clearly missed the mark. But it is, I think if I did crunch the numbers on how much I spent, like January, February compared to like March or whatever, or I guess January compared to February, because it's only March 2nd. But yeah, I think I would definitely see a decrease in spending. It just, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. So let's just get into doing the makeup. And we will just talk about life. So I've got my brushes here. I've got my, sorry, I just want to set up this mirror a little bit higher. So I'm going to start with, of course, this palette, just to see what I can use for like, kind of like my, I've already put primer on and everything. So yeah, I'm just going to get into it and we'll just chat. So as far as what's been going on with me, like I said, I have work again starting soon. So I am going to be pre-filming a lot of videos, more so than normal, and I'm hoping I can still stick with what I've been doing, which is daily videos, minus the occasional day that I miss here and there, but I try and do daily videos for you guys. So I'm hoping I can stick to something around there. If it starts to decrease, and it's becoming like a struggle for me to get up daily videos, I will try and make some sort of official announcement that I'm going to be reducing my quantity of videos. I'm not sure how else to say that. But at this point, I'm going to keep trying to do it as it's been going. Okay. I'm actually going to go into this Milani Most Loved Mattes palette, just to do like the brow bone kind of area with this very light cream shade. Not cream shade, but like ivory. Like cream the color, not the cream the texture. It's not a cream palette or anything, it's powder. I just like this as like a nice highlight shade under my brow bone. And to kind of like set my primer just up here. But yeah, work is about to get into it, and that'll be good. I'm hoping that everything goes normal for my work and for my husband's work this year, but let's just talk about the, I guess, elephant in the room, which is all that everyone's been talking about lately, which is the coronavirus situation. Like I said, I am pre-filming this on March 2nd, so maybe there'll be some kind of changes to this by the time I post it in like a week from now or so. But as of right now, so I'm Canadian, right? So I live in Canada. There have only been, I think, about 30, I want to say 30 or so. Maybe that's wrong. It's always changing, so I'm not 100% sure on the numbers, but I'm pretty sure there's only been about, oh, what happened there? There we go. About 30 cases nationwide, so Canadian cases so far. A few in Toronto GTA area, and then a few in the Vancouver, like BC area, I believe, which makes total sense because those are the two biggest cities in the country. I'm just gonna try out this. I got this the City Mini palette from Maybelline. It is just a drugstore palette, but I found it on sale at Shoppers Drug Mart for half off, so that was a pretty good deal. I kind of like this burgundy kind of color here, so I might go in with the lighter one and then deepen the outer corner with this kind of thing. I'm just going for kind of a simple look today. I'm not going to do anything too insane. But yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, there's only been about 30 cases, I think, in Canada so far. And yeah, like I said, in the most populated cities, not a surprise to anybody there. However, I do live in sort of the GTA, like not directly GTA. I wouldn't call it GTA, I guess technically, but I'm within a few hours of drive from Toronto. So yeah, not Greater Toronto area, but like maybe greater Toronto area. Like if you took another radius outside of that even, I'd be like probably within that bubble. And it's so far not had any kind of serious impact on my daily life. But people are talking about it a lot, and people are getting really worried. Now, I'm sure everything I'm saying is not news to anybody. Like, y'all know what's going on with coronavirus and like how the death rate is and all that stuff. So basically it's not a super lethal type of virus. I think it only kills 2% of the people that are infected with it, and those tend to be elderly people or like infants or people that are already sick with some other kind of, you know, disease or something that weakens their immune systems naturally. So, wow, was that the sun? Okay, the sun must have come out because now all of a sudden I'm blown out, so bear with me with that. But Um, yeah, so it's not super lethal, so that's a good thing. So I'm not really particularly worried about like if I catch it, if I'm gonna die or something. Like I don't feel like fear that I'm going to die if I get the coronavirus. It's more worrisome though for me of the effect that it might have on, you know, my day-to-day life in terms of just living life as usual. And by that I mean like there's been a lot of lockdowns like in the epicenter of this, obviously in Wuhan, China, where they've like pretty much closed down entire cities. People aren't leaving their house. Everything looks like a ghost town. You basically have to be like a prepper and blockade yourself into your house and wait it out. Okay, this sun is like, now it's not even a watchable video. So let me just close my blind really quick and I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. Still not great, but it's better. Anyways, yeah, so with these lockdowns, like if we were to go into lockdown here, that would just be a severe impact on day-to-day life as well as like our economy, because if people can't get to work, they're not getting paid, then they can't afford to buy things, and like it just becomes a huge snowball effect. So that's a little bit worrisome to me. Another thing that's a bit concerning to me personally is the fact that Jeff, my husband, works for he works for the car manufacturing company Toyota. So huge company, everyone's heard of Toyota. So the thing about Toyota is it's a Japanese company that a lot of it's a Japanese company, so a lot of the parts to make the vehicles are sent directly from Japan. Some of them are made in other places, but some of them are made in Japan. And I guess my biggest concern at this point in time is more so how badly Japan will be affected, because if Japan goes into some sort of lockdown situation, especially the parts plants, right? The parts factories in Japan, then Toyota won't be receiving parts. And if Toyota doesn't receive parts, then people who work in manufacturing, like my husband, are not going to have any parts to do their job. And if they don't have the parts, they shut down the plant. So this has happened before. It happened when there was a big, I don't know if you guys remember, but a few years back, like maybe 6 or 7 or maybe even more than that, a few years ago, there was a sort of a tsunami thing that happened, and it really affected Japan badly. I don't know if you guys remember that, but during that time, Jeff was laid off work because of this exact situation where they could not get the parts, so they couldn't really run, and because they couldn't run, they had nothing to tell their employees except for like, we can't do anything with you, so you might as well go home. And obviously it's been several years since that incident, so the good news for us is that his position, he's moved up a little bit from before. Like he used to be one of the lowest level employees, so he was one of the first to get laid off when that happened last time. But this time he's, not right on the chopping block anymore. However, if things get bad enough, that layoffs move up the chain, right? So that is going to be very difficult for us if that does happen, because he's our breadwinner in this household. He brings home the majority of our income. Although I do work as well, my income is quite a bit less than his. So this could be a very serious and difficult situation for us financially if something like that were to happen. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my worries about it. obviously, everyone's worried about getting sick, but like I said, it's not super deadly for people that are my age, and I don't have any other kind of like immune system disorder type illness that will make it difficult for me to fight such an infection or a virus or whatever. So I'm not super worried about it in that regard. But yeah, it could be looking bad for us financially if things are bad with Japan, and obviously also if things get bad here too. And yeah, it's not looking good. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I stand when it comes to the whole coronavirus topic. It's not good. It's not good news for us. Hopefully this will all just blow over and things can just continue as normal. That would be obviously the best case scenario for us, for everyone really. But yeah, it could be a tough situation. So all the more reason to really seriously this time go on a no buy, because really if my husband were to get laid off work, obviously I would have no extra money to be frivolously spending on makeup, whether it's cheap makeup or expensive makeup. Like, it would just, we'd be in like full blown let's save everything kind of a mode. But yeah, but let me know what you guys think in the comments about this whole coronavirus thing. Like, are you in a location where it's being hit pretty badly, or are you kind of like me in the sense that you're far away from majority of like outbreaks or whatever, and you're not super concerned, but you never know? Just curious how it's affecting your lives as well. Like, are you being affected by it in terms of your job or anything like that? Just would love to hear your thoughts on it. Alright, so like I said, I'm going very simple with my eye look today. I'm probably going to do an all matte look, or if I do add a shimmer, it'll just be like very subtle one. Like, I'm not going to go super dark or anything. So that first shade that I used is just this one here, and then I'm going to try and darken up the crease with this one right next to it. I wonder if these shades have names. No, they don't. Sometimes they put like a little legend thing on the back, but this one does not have that. Ooh, I like this shade. I like burgundy. It's like a really easy to wear color for me, at least, because I have like a cooler undertone to my skin, and I think it looks really nice on people like that. But yeah, the blendability is pretty good on these, surprisingly for drugstore, but nice. So another funny thing just regarding that coronavirus situation that I thought would be something worth mentioning is that apparently the brand of beer, Corona beer, is like having difficulties selling their beer because of the fact that it's called Corona, which is so dumb. Like, who is that dumb that they think there's any kind of correlation between the virus and the beer brand? Like, you'd have to be a complete idiot to associate the two, but apparently people are complete idiots, so who knew? Yeah, so why don't I tell you guys a little bit about the work that I'll be doing this month. So yeah, as I've mentioned several times in the past, I'm a wedding photographer. That is my full-time job, although it is sort of seasonal. So although it is full-time, it's basically like I work 50-hour work weeks all summer long. And by summer, I mean not just like June, July, August. I mean like May, June, July, August, September, October, and usually November. All of those months I'm like extremely, extremely busy for the most part. And then December, January, February are like the 3 months that I basically have like off. And then March and April are kind of like slower, but I'm still working. So yeah, this month I am lucky because March is usually a pretty slow month. And it is still slow for me. Like, I wouldn't say I'm like extremely busy, but I have 3 weddings this month, which is more than I usually have for March. Usually I have like 1 to 2. Just because the weather here is very unpredictable at this time of year, and it is still like right in the heart of winter for Canada, unfortunately. I know you would think March is kind of like spring, but we still have snow all over, and it's still snowing regularly. So it's not exactly what I would consider to be spring weather at this point. So for that reason, a lot of people choose not to do their weddings in March. But I do have 3 weddings this month. So the first one is, I don't know too much about it actually. I don't know the location or the couple because it's actually one that I am assisting another photographer with. So it's her booking that I'm her second shooter for that. So she doesn't give me all the information about that until about a week before it happens, and it is, so I should be getting that information like any day now. But yeah, so that'll be my first wedding of the year. And then March 21st will be my next wedding. And that one is going to be fun because it's actually one of my friend's brother is getting married. So she like referred me. And so I'm doing my friend's brother's wedding, which is fun. He and his bride-to-be are actually also expecting a baby. I think the baby's going to be born, I believe they said it was due in May. So she'll be pretty pregnant at the wedding, so it'll be really cute. I've done a few weddings like this where the bride is expecting. Sometimes it's like pretty far along in the pregnancy where it's like obvious, and other times it's a surprise, which is kind of fun because a lot of times if it's a surprise, they kind of like announce it at their wedding, and like the whole family gets to find out that they're expecting like at the wedding, which is always really fun because everyone, you know, that kind of news is really fun to see people react to when it's their family or close friend. But yeah, this one she's going to be pretty far along. I think everybody in the family knows already. In fact, I think they've already found out the gender even at this point. Can't remember. I think my friend told me what they were expecting. I think it's a girl. But could be wrong about that. But yeah, they're just getting married locally. It's going to be a really easy one for me to do because their wedding and reception and ceremony are all happening within like a 15-minute drive from my house, which is very rare for me because I live kind of out in the boonies. Not really, not truly in the boonies. Like I'm in a town, but like I'm not in a big city. So yeah, most of the time I have to drive to a wedding venue that's in the city because most wedding venues happen to be in the city. But they're doing one kind of like out in the country, so that'll be kind of fun. Plus, like, my friend will be there. I mean, not that I can really like hang out, you know, I'll be working, but it's always fun when there's people at the wedding that you know. So that'll be my second wedding. And then I'm just going to take that sort of lighter color that I used initially and do a little bit on the lower lash line, on the inner part of the lower lash line. Just telling you guys what I'm doing here. I just want to kind of mimic what I've done on the top of the lid. Right down here. Pretty. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I'm really liking this like all matte kind of look. It's just like really basic, but I like it. I think it looks cool. So I might take, I'm trying to think what color would be good for like an inner corner highlight. And I might go with, there's a nice color in this palette. It's really hard to open this one palette that I have. There we go. There's like a light color right there I'm going to use as the inner corner highlight. But yeah, as I was saying, so that's my second wedding of the year. And then a week after that, on the 29th, which is a Sunday, I have a Sunday wedding in Toronto. So that'll be interesting if a bunch of people have coronavirus, right? To go to downtown Toronto. Like, it's literally right in downtown Toronto, like in the core of the city. So that's fun. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So I guess I'm going for it. But it should be really fun. I did their engagement photos about a month ago. And they were actually almost exactly a month ago. It was like on the 1st of February. So they're a really fun couple. Like, they had such a cute love story where they met and started dating back in 2001. So crazy long time ago. And then they kind of like, the bride is American and the groom is Canadian. So they couldn't really make it work like long distance, obviously, when they were, young and stuff. And they just like stayed in touch as friends, I guess. And now they kind of reunited in 2018 and decided, hey, like, let's get married. So it's kind of been like a 20-year long love story, like in the making kind of thing, which is really cute. So that's going to be really fun. And I've already, like I said, shot the couple's engagement photos, so I know a little bit about them and, how they interact with each other, which always makes it a little bit easier going into doing a wedding when you know how the couple interacts with each other. Because, like, couples are very, very different from each other. Like, each couple is very different. Some couples are a lot more shy with each other. Like, I've done a couple weddings where the couple is just very, like, not into, like, PDA of any kind, even on their wedding day, which is interesting. Like, I'm not big into, like, PDA myself. Like, I don't like going out in public and just making out, like, in front of people. I think it's awkward and weird. But, like, when you're on your, like, wedding day or, like, getting your engagement photos done, like, you can really get a sense for what people are comfortable with and not comfortable with doing in front of people. So it's always, like, I don't know. I like when a couple will just go for it. And if I tell them, like, hey, can you, like, go for a kiss? They're, like, down to do it. But you never know. Some people are really private about that kind of thing, and they don't like being really touchy-feely. So, yeah, but this couple's cute, and I think it'll be a good one. Does that look right? I don't know. Just looking at my eyes, but I feel like they don't look the same. I never can get my eyes to, like, match each other, but, first world problems, I guess. Okay, so right now this look is entirely matte, like I said, but I think I am going to put a little punch of shimmer just, like, on the main part of the lid. There's, like, a beautiful shimmer color in here right there. I've never used it before. This is a brand new palette, so I don't know if it's going to be as good when it's actually applied, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it. Let me just clean off this one brush. I'm going to use, like, a very densely packed, like, flat brush to kind of try and pack that on the lid. And we'll see how this formula goes. Oh, wow, I just went way too deep with that brush. Like, dug a big chunk out of it. Oops. Let's just dust that off. All right, let's see how this goes. Ooh, yeah, I like it. It's very foiled looking. Yeah, it's nice. I honestly should probably go in with my finger to apply this. I feel like it'll apply better with a finger, but I hate when shadows are like that. I don't like using my finger. I like to use a brush. Why can't y'all make a shadow that I can put on with a brush the same way that it looks when you put it on with a finger? Actually, this one's pretty good. Like, for drugstore quality, like, this is good, in my opinion. Yeah, it's really pretty. Okay, I'm going to try it with a finger just because I feel like I'm supposed to do it that way. Yeah, it works a lot better with the finger, I find. Cool. I like that. Yeah, so that'll be my third wedding of the month. I only have 3 this month. So like I said, it is a slower month compared to like some of my fall months, and like June, for example, are a couple of my busier months, and they have like 8 to 10 weddings in 1 month. So that's what I would consider like a busy month. But yeah, this one's only got 3, so it'll be a nice way to ease myself into it. Ooh, yeah, I like how this looks. Very pretty. I wonder if I can like sort of phase out the sparkle so that it's like gradient, you know what I mean? Yeah, that looks pretty. Doesn't translate on camera very well because I have to have my curtain down because of the bright sunlight, apparently. Let's try it on this eye. Definitely works better with a finger to apply. I mean, I'm still packing it on like layers and layers of it because I like a really like intense look. Yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, that looks pretty. I really like this palette so far. I feel like I'm going really deep in that shimmer though. Like I might use it up fairly quickly because I'm packing so much on, but for drugstore, this is like dope. Like I really like it. I'm really like sort of impressed by how comparable drugstore shadow palettes are compared to high-end lately, because I was one of those girls that like would always get high-end because I just thought if it's Maybelline or like CoverGirl or something, it's gonna suck ass and like it's gonna be terrible. And just because I like had memories of way back in the day, like when I was like 15, drugstore like sucked, guys. Like it was like not good. Like it was almost like not even worth, and it used to be a lot cheaper back then too, but like even still, it was like not even worth like $5 that you would spend on like a drugstore quad. Like it would just suck so badly. Like it would just be such bad quality. And now I feel like they've really stepped it up. Like I haven't really tried drugstore stuff since. Like, I mean, I've tried a couple of things here and there, and I've mostly tried like other products like brow products or mascaras or things like that in recent years, but I've kind of steered away from the eyeshadows just because I had such a bad experience like several years ago, and I never really gave them another chance, but until now. And I feel like they kind of deserve a second chance. Like this looks pretty decent for like a really affordable eyeshadow palette. You can get like a really nice look with it. So I'm sorry to, what is this brand? Maybelline. I'm sorry, Maybelline, that I judged you, because this looks pretty good. I'm getting a lot of fallout, but that's because I've been like packing on this shimmery gold like so much that I feel like it's user error, if anything. Just gonna grab a brush here and try and dust off some of that shimmery shit off my face. Hopefully this will work because I've already done my face and I don't want to redo it. I don't mind a little fallout, it's okay. I don't mind having a little bit of sparkle on the side of my face, it's fine. But yeah, I like that. I like that. That looks pretty good, and it goes with my shirt today. Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay, cool. Well, that's about it for the video today, guys, because it's at 34 minutes long already, and all I'm gonna do now is my like eyeliner, mascara, that kind of thing, and it'll take too long to do it all on film. So I talked about everything I wanted to talk about, specifically like the whole coronavirus thing, because I know everyone's kind of like giving their thoughts on that. So I wanted to chime in with mine. And how I'm potentially could be affected by it in the future, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel because I post a new video every single day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. All right, bye guys.